Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair. All topics are for entertainment purposes only. None of the information presented in this video or by VGirlTV should be taken as fact. Every situation is based on personal experience. The Image Boutique is located in the Centro Comercial de los Pueblos Mall, located in Panama City, just 15 minutes away from Tocumen Airport. We specialize in hair care, wig extensions, and much more. Come visit us. Buenas tardes, mi gente. Hello, B Squad. Welcome back to another live edition of VGirlTV. Today is Friday, so we're doing break room conversations, okay? Before we start, I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Am I crystal clear? Leave it in the comment section so that I know that you guys can hear me. For those of you who are on Instagram, make your way down to YouTube because we're on YouTube. Okay, I just only come on Instagram to let everyone know that I'm on YouTube. So meet me at VGirlTV, okay, on YouTube because we are live and direct. Anyway, guys, it is so crazy because I usually do my live streams, break room conversations on Fridays at 12. And for some reason, I totally forgot that we are behind in Panama. So right now it's 11:36, which would mean Eastern Standard Time. It is 12:36. So I apologize for being late. I forgot about daylight saving time for you people who are up north. Anyway, guys, so there's a couple of announcements that I want to make. The first thing is that for those of you who have been following me on Instagram and you watch like my little clips for my podcast, there is now a YouTube channel for the VGirl podcast, which is, just random conversation about regular life stuff. Nothing that has there's certain things that I talk about because living in Panama is part of me, it's part of who I am. But what I love the most about this podcast and about the VGirl podcast is that I am able to talk about current events and not just stuff about Panama, because most of the people that follow me on this channel, usually you really are just interested in the fact that I live in Panama, so you're more interested in Panama related stuff. But if you are interested in the podcast, okay, I left the link in the comment section, okay? There's a YouTube channel now for the podcast, so you can click that link and follow the podcast on YouTube, okay? We still are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that good stuff, and I finally have a co-host. So, I'd love to hear your feedback on what you guys think about the co-host and what you guys feel about the podcast. So if you are interested in following the podcast, this is just the page specifically for the podcast, because I had asked you guys before, should I just put everything on the same channel? And a lot of people did say put everything on the same channel, but for some reason I felt like I really wasn't getting the feedback that I really wanted as far as the podcast is concerned and being on the main channel, which is VGirlTV. So we made a separate channel for YouTube on the podcast. So click that link, guys. It's in the comment section so that you can watch the conversation. For those of you who like visuals, and for those of you who love the audio, you can just follow the VGirl podcast on Apple and Spotify and all major podcast platforms. Okay. Also, guys, I have a new vlog on the channel. It was actually Gigi's birthday, which is why I haven't been on. I haven't been uploading, because it was Gia's birthday and I was planning her birthday party, and then I had, guests over my home, my cousins. I had so much people come out and fly out for her birthday party. So I had to like take a back burner on YouTube, and trust me, I'm feeling it right now. Okay. And then so I finally uploaded that vlog. I also have another vlog coming up, which should be going up today at 5 o'clock. I already edited the video, so it's supposed to be going up at 5. And then I have another vlog coming up on Monday. So I'm back on the grind. Just finished watching that vlog. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Thank you. I love Guyanese Brown Sugar. Guyanese Brown Sugar is all the way in Guyana, and she is a supporter of the channel. So I appreciate her. She's always in the lives and she's always commented. Those are the things that are important. Okay. The people who show support, even if it's like one person in the live, she's still there. So shout out to her. So guys, if you hadn't had an opportunity to do so, go check out the vlogs, okay? That's why I've been doing a lot of like mini vlogs on my Instagram, because I'm starting to feel like, people are not gearing to YouTube anymore. I don't know. Let me know how you feel about YouTube. Are you guys still paying attention to YouTube, or did you guys run to TikTok? Okay. I've been doing a lot of mini vlogs, which I'm going to upload also into the shorts. I don't know how it works from the back end, how the shorts appear, if you guys even see the shorts, but my mini vlogs will be on YouTube, but it will be in the short section. Okay. All right. So guys, I wanted to actually talk to you guys about a few things. For those, oh, my cell phone died. Great. For those of you, I love your tan. Thank you. I was at the beach. Shout out. Stay tuned for my beach vlog, guys. I have another vlog coming up when I went to the beach. I have content for you guys. Okay. Even though I haven't been uploading, precisely and consistently, I do have a lot of content that I am editing and uploading so that you guys can see. So make sure you're subscribed to VGirlTV. Thank you. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year, and it's moving very slow. So I need you guys to share the channel. If you are the people that always stop me in the street and go, "Hey, are you that girl from YouTube?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, are you subscribed to the channel?" "No, I'm not subscribed, but I watch all your videos." You're playing with me. You're playing with me. I need you to subscribe to the channel, okay? So we're trying to get to 10,000, 10K by the end of this year, people. So please, if you can, share the video, share my page, get subscribers, get people to subscribe. Okay. Yes, thank you, D Graham. We will do it, I believe, because I remember at one point I only had one follower, one subscriber, and the one subscriber was my son. And look where we are today, 5K strong. Holla, B Squad. All right, guys. So enough of the announcements. Okay. What is up? I just wanted to come and chit chat with you guys to let you know Panama is amazing. Okay. Panama is doing wonders for my skin. Okay. Panama is where it is at. And I'm not saying that because, I am Panamanian by blood. I'm saying this because living in Panama has really, I want to say, really changed my life and changed my perspective on a lot of things. I was watching the news because I still keep, even though I'm not in the States, I still watch the news. Okay. And I was saddened to see that there was another school. Okay. I think that it's a shame. It is very sad to see they're not doing anything about this. Like, this is something it's getting to the point where it's like, oh, okay, it's another one. Like, the fact that we are becoming desensitized to these people going into elementary schools and targeting little kids is a problem. At the same time, seeing things like that, even though I am not, rest in peace to these kids. My heart goes out to these families that have lost their children. Sometimes I sit back because I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I miss the States. There are things about the States that I miss. More so my being, closer to my main friends that live there. I do have friends here in Panama, but I kind of just miss the my friends and the level of going out that we used to do. You know what I mean? Obviously the culturally is kind of different. But yeah, there are things that I miss about the States, but when I see stuff like that, it makes me realize, okay, you know what? Maybe I did make the right decision. Not maybe, I have made the right decision. Period. Okay, because it's scary you sending your kids to school and you don't know if your kids are coming back because some sick person purchased a handgun and decided that they're going to attack innocent children. Like, to me, when I see things like that, I realize, guys, I have a cold, so bear with me. When I see things like that, I realize, you know what, my kids, even though, Panama is not Western culture, okay, it's a developing country. I have to be politically correct because y'all always trying to come for me. You don't see that. You don't see things like that happening in developing countries. D Graham says this is I'm gonna be reading what it says on the Instagram also. But the cops this time went in 14 minutes. I give them the props. Yeah, they did go in 14 minutes, unlike what happened in Texas, but it's still something that should not happen. Like, we should not be normalizing these random school, that unaliving children. Like, not even just unaliving people, period, because it's that. Then you had the one in Buffalo. Then you had the one where they went up in the church. Like, it's just literally, I'm seeing just too much of this happening in the States, and it's very, very scary to say the least. But to me, they don't air all school blanks. In fact, there's been over 100 schools blank thus far in 2023, only 3 months into the year. Mind blowing. It's scary. It is so scary. Like, every time I see something like that, I'm like, you know what? We're going to stay here. Okay. I mean, I didn't have no intention of leaving, but I'm not even gonna lie. Like, sometimes your mind plays tricks on you and you're like, oh, well, did I make the right decision? I see things like that and I'm like, yeah, no, I am a mom and I have to protect my kids at all costs because it's getting very ugly and it's clearly getting worse. You know what I mean? Um, Girl, keep yourself and your baby safe. These divided states of America are so it's when did it get like this? Am I like naive to the fact that I get it, like racism is something that exists worldwide and things happen, but I don't remember things being so bad to the point where these things are happening. Okay, D Graham says they need to have random 3 to 5 teachers have guns in each school. But then you see the G violence in America is just ridiculous. So even if the teachers have that, then it's going to be like a shoot off, and then the kids are still not safe. Now it's looking more and more like you a genius to leave. Thank you. The thing is, I left 8 years ago. Okay. And 8 years ago, the reason for me leaving was because at the time I only had my son. And my thing was I really wanted to protect him. I wanted him to be able to preserve his innocence. I really wanted him to preserve just being a kid. You know what I mean? And not have to deal with certain struggles. Even with me, like growing up, I don't remember dealing with half the thing. Well, there was 9/11. That was the most dramatic thing that I've dealt with, as far as like political stuff, like nationwide stuff that ever happened was 9/11, and I was in high school. I was in my last year of high school, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and or was it my junior year? Anyway, I don't remember. It was either my junior or my senior year. And 9/11 happened, and that was the most dramatic thing that I experienced. But then you just keep on hearing more and more and more things happen. And it's like, you just, as a mom, you just really just want to protect your kids. You know what I mean? You can't go anywhere and be safe, not at school, church, grocery stores, or even at home. I know. Like, it's wild. It's wild. Which brings me to this. I was thinking, I don't know, what you guys think about this. I want to hear your opinion. Hold on, let me get back to one of the comments before I get in. Now I understand why some of my family members from Panama never came to the US. Smart move on their part. You know what? The US isn't what it used to be. I think in the 80s and 90s, even though there was a drug epidemic, around that time, it was a lot easier, I think, for people to migrate and to be able to get um what's the word? Opportunities, right? I think that it was a lot easier for migrants to get opportunities, especially for Panamanians back in the day. I don't think that that right now is something that is easy like now. I think things are just getting worse. And the more and more I watch the news and the more and more I read things about, just even like with science and things like that, I'm just like, okay, this is just wild. Like, I just want to live a simple life. I just want to live a soft life. I just want to be happy. So more and more, this is where it looks like that I'll be, when it's time for me to go to the heavens above, I think I'll be here because it's that crazy. All right. This brings me to there's two things that I was ideas that I was playing with. Um, I want to have a seminar for people who are interested in moving abroad. In this seminar, I'm going to have live speakers. When it comes to real estate, I'll have lawyers. I'll also have a translator. I'll have people it's actually a webinar, not a seminar. It will be a webinar where these people will answer you guys' questions, give you a play-by-play book on what you need or how you can transition to moving abroad, whether it be Panama or whether it be another country. I had the flyer and I was actually going to put it out for the webinar to be in April, but then I realized I had so much things going on. So I didn't really have an opportunity to promote it. But I kind of was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it anymore because I got a little discouraged. But I decided to bring out this idea to you guys let me know if that is something that you'd be interested in. D Graham says, yes, sounds great. Maybe Africa for me. Yeah. I watch a lot of people on YouTube that migrate to Africa. I think where you decide to go is really just a personal choice and the things that you are able to live with and live without. So do keep in mind that when you do move to certain countries, okay, the laws are different. There's things that you may not be was able to get, I mean, like readily. Because when you live in Western civilization, especially in Western culture, you live in the United States, you live in the UK, you live in certain places like that, countries like that, everything is on demand. What I realized with, going to certain countries, which some people might feel like you're moving backwards, it's all about how you view things. Um, Things aren't as fast paced and ready made as what you're used to. So the adjustment may be hard. So for example, if you are interested in going to Africa, I personally would go visit which country in Africa on the continent which you would want to live in and just stay there for at least 3 months to see if you like it. If you don't like it, then you can move someplace else. Now, yes, ma'am. Okay, so yeah, so I did put up the flyer. I'm just gonna change the date. However, though, this is the thing: the webinar is going to cost $20. Okay, the link is gonna be private to the webinar. Only if you pay, you'll be able to have access to join in the webinar. And I know people, when it comes to money, that's another reason why I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this because, I give a lot of free content already on my YouTube channel. And people still, even though I give them free information, people still want to contact me directly and ask me literally the same questions that I already posted for you guys. So when it comes to this, I decided that I'm gonna have to charge for the webinar. I feel very bad, I shouldn't feel bad, but I have to charge. And let me know what you guys think. I was really toying with this idea for the longest, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Yes, exactly, D Graham. The flyer, I already had the flyer, guys. Like I literally had, let me see. Let me see if I can, I can't even show you the flyer because everything. Oh, matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to show you the flyer on the screen. I had already made a flyer and everything for this event. And then I was like, I don't know. The date obviously isn't going to be the same. I'm going to change the date on it, obviously, because, but let's see. Let me see if I can find that flyer for you guys. I'm just showing you guys this so you know that I'm not BSing, okay? I don't want you guys to feel like I'm BSing. I do think about you guys all the time. I feel like this is the time where because I literally been sharing my journey with a lot of people because I want you guys to understand like it's okay to relocate if you have kids. If you just with the proper planning and the right tools and the right people to help you out, you could actually live a pretty decent life. You can actually live a pretty decent life. My cousin, who's in the live, shout out to Wajna, he's luckily for him, he has perks, so he's always here in Panama lately. Like he's been in Panama very much. And one of the things that I appreciate about him being coming to visit is that he understands why I moved. Like people have this warped perception of what Panama is like. Yes, of course, there are places where Panama is, not developed, but there's also places in the US that's not even developed. I mean, you have places where in Philadelphia where the drinking water is not even acceptable. Like that's unacceptable. There's places like Flint that's still having struggles with water. You know what I mean? But that doesn't represent the whole entire, country. With that being said, yes, there are parts of Panama that are underdeveloped and maybe it's not uh up to standards, but there are places here where you can live a pretty decent life. Don't feel bad. People are always willing to pay for good content. You're offering a service. You should require a fee for it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna show you guys the flyer that I made. I made this flyer like 2 months ago, and I was like, I don't know if I should do it. But let me hold on. Let me show it to you guys. Hold on. All right, so this was the flyer that I had made for the event. It's called Move to Panama with VGirl, and it was a webinar, and it was actually scheduled for April 8th at 7 p.m. But I'm actually going to change the date. Everything you need to know about moving to Panama and more live guest speakers, tickets available at www.vgirltv.com. Obviously, I'm just bringing this to you guys. So I'm actually going to change the date, okay? Because and even still, that date is really not work. It's not even a good date anyway because it was Easter Sunday. I wasn't even thinking at the time. But I'm gonna give you guys a month. I'm gonna do the webinar a month from this day. Okay. So I'm gonna start promoting it. Obviously, I'm gonna change the date, but this is exactly what I was going to do for you guys. For those of you who, you obviously cannot come to Panama. Excuse me, you obviously cannot come to Panama right now, but it will be a live webinar where you will get the information virtually. Everything will be virtually. It's going to be $20. The tickets are going to be $20. You're going to log in, have all your questions ready. And so, yeah, okay, you guys gave me the battery to make this go. So I am super excited. I'm super excited. All right. What it says, we have to look at the good and bad pertaining to any move, but look more of the future. What does it look like 5 to 10 years from now? And there's more of a benefit. Exactly. So I'm so glad I'm blowing my nose, guys, because I have a cold. Um, this is the thing, right? Sorry. so unprofessional for me to be wiping my nose on camera, but I also don't want mucus just dripping out my nose. Look, one of the things, right, that I will say is that when I first moved here, I honestly didn't think about exactly what he's saying. I didn't think about, okay, what is the future going to look like? You know what I mean? Because honestly, personally, I was just saying, well, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try it, and if I like it, I'm going to stay. If I don't like it, I can just leave. And the first 2 years of me being here, I kept flying back and forth because I was still very much um I wasn't completely open. I was fooling myself to thinking that I was open, but I really wasn't open. But now, looking back at it now, where I live now and seeing how far it has gotten now, I'm just like, whoa. Okay. Because where I moved, my house was just being built and it was only my street. There were still other streets that weren't even fully developed. When you leave outside of where I live, there wasn't even a street there. And now you have streets, you have bridges, you got Starbucks, you got Olive Garden, you got all these different entities. There wasn't even a grocery store close to me when I first moved here. That's how much where I live changed from 8 years ago. So what Wetchin is saying is 100% true. It's looking at the future and looking to see, okay, the potential of what's going to happen 5, 10 years from now. D Graham says, how easy is it for you to start a business in Panama? Honestly speaking, if you do want to start a business in Panama, there are perks for you, those people who want to start businesses in Panama, as far as being able to get like certain benefits as far as residency if you do start a business. But all that will be discussed in the webinar because I'm going to have someone specifically to talk about that aspect, about starting a business in Panama and what benefits you can get um, by starting a business in Panama. So this is definitely, you know what, you guys gave me the push to do this webinar. So you know what, I'm gonna put the tickets on sale. Um, the tickets are gonna go up on sale for the webinar. I'm gonna actually put them for tonight, 12 midnight. The tickets will go on sale for the webinar. All these questions will be answered. I'll have guest speakers. I'll have all kind of people on here to answer these questions. So I am super excited to get you guys to do this webinar for you guys. And if this actually turns out to be wonderful and well, we can do more webinars, for those of you who don't like going looking through my live streams and wasting a whole hour, because I don't do live stamps on my live streams or any of my videos actually. So yeah. So guys, if you know someone who is interested in moving to Panama, excuse me, let them know about the webinar. The date is actually going to be 1 month from today's date. So from the date that I had on the flyer. So instead of it being April 8th, it's going to be May 8th. Okay. So let everyone know that we're going to have a webinar specifically for those who want to move to Panama. I cannot wait to share this wealth of information that I have with you guys personally. So you just let me know. Have the bank started pursuing mortgages to non-Panamanians? Okay, so for the webinar, Lizzie, I'm gonna have someone from the bank that works at a bank, and she will be able to break this down for you. So I'm gonna write down your question. Guys, I just want to say this though, because the webinar is a paid event, I'm only going to have the people who paid for the event, for the webinar. They're the only ones that's going to have access for the link to get in. And then even after you get access to the link, they're going to be able to go back to the link to refer to certain things as well. It will be up for future reference. So this is something that you guys, I'm excited for this, okay? Because especially because I was like kind of nervous about even bringing this idea to you guys. So yeah. Woo. Okay, so oh my God, you guys are so awesome. So yeah, investments. You guys are looking for investments, information about investments, starting businesses, right? Residency. I'm writing all of this down. This is why I love doing live streams because when I do these live streams, I can get to interact with you guys one on one, and we get to talk about different things, and I get to see what your interests are. So I'm super excited about doing these live streams. How's your son's karate classes? Amir stopped going to karate. Now he's straight soccer. Starting a business, real estate, mortgages, residencies. All of these will be topics that we'll be discussing at the webinar, okay? The tickets for the webinar, again, will be $20, and you'll be able to get them on VGirlTV.com. The tickets go up tonight at 12 midnight, okay? Tonight at 12 midnight. Yeah, yeah. Liz D says, I've been focused on Africa, but Panama sounds like a closer compromise. Yeah, this is another thing or whatever. And I'm not trying to deter anybody from going any place. Again, as I said, I have my own business. Whether you come to Panama or not is not really like, it's not to my detriment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's people who really, really, really need, you guys' business because this is the only thing that they do. So making you move to Panama is what they want. Me personally, I feel like moving anywhere is basically like the same concept as far as information is concerned. The only thing that changes is the laws of the land of the different countries that you try to move to. One of the reasons why I moved to Panama anyway, yeah, because this is where my family from. This I was familiar with here, and also it's very close to the States. So if I needed to do anything, if I needed to go back, whatever, for whatever reason, it's super close versus me moving to a whole nother country like Europe, which is hours away. I cannot do long flights, guys. Like, for the life of me, even with flying direct from here to New York, it's like 5 hours, and even the 5 hour flight is a lot for me. So I can't even imagine myself doing like 17 hours, like those ridiculous flights. It's just not me. It is not me. During the webinar, can you discuss how someone can get their cellular Panamanian passport dual citizenship? Absolutely. I'm going to actually have a lawyer, and I'm also going to have a translator because the lawyer that I know that does this does not speak English. Okay, so I'm going to definitely have a translator to translate for the lawyer because she doesn't speak any English. Okay. So yeah, I'm writing this all down, guys, because I don't want to miss any of your talking points, especially for the webinar. Lizzie says, neither can I. 4 to 5 hour flight stop. Yeah, it's too much. Like, I just can't. So that's another reason why. D Graham says, how about a class on importance of life insurance? I sell that too. Okay, I got you. We could do another webinar about that. Okay. Do I have to know Spanish to live in Panama? You don't have to know Spanish to live in Panama, but I would advise anyone, at least try. Don't be like those people that come here and they just feel like, okay, well, I'm going to just speak. Like, I know, prime example, someone came to visit me in Panama and they just automatically started speaking English to the waiter. Now, there are, depending on where you go, like if you go to like tourist areas, people do speak English. A lot of people do speak English in tourist areas, but you also have to keep in mind that this is a Spanish speaking country, right? So not everyone speaks freaking Spanish. So I had a little cousin that came to visit me and she just started, and then she's from North Carolina. So she has an accent. That's another thing. So depending on where you are in the States, you have an accent. And I personally don't really understand people from the South either when they speak English. It sounds like they're speaking another language. So my cousin starts speaking to the girl, and the girl is like looking like, what is she saying? And my cousin's like looking at her like, hello, like I'm speaking to you. Like, girl, you need not for people to think that that they speak the same way you speak or understand what you're speaking. You're in their land, okay? You're in someone else's land. Get with the program, okay? And so yeah, that's another thing. I don't like when people do that at all. Just like when people are in America and they move to America and they choose not to speak English. But see, America is a different type of country. They're going to cater to immigrants. They're going to cater to people who do not speak the language. Not every country is like that. If you don't speak the language, you don't speak the language. They're not getting anyone to translate. When you go to the government office and you need paperwork done, they're not giving you the paperwork in 10 different languages. Okay. It's up to you to get somebody to come with you to translate, and you have to pay that person. It's only in America that they do that. But a lot of people do speak English. A lot more people now speak more English than before. Back then, it was really people from Bocas del Toro and people from Colón that spoke mostly English, and it also depends on what part of Colón you was from that spoke English. But now, you'll be surprised the people who speak English. Okay, my son's friends, some of them are Asian, and they speak English, they speak Mandarin, and they speak Spanish. So there you have it. That southern drawl be a trip sometimes. I've got folks in the Carolinas and Georgia. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, honestly, I don't even understand what they say sometimes. And worse, the people from Atlanta. When I hear people in Atlanta speak, especially people that with that deep Atlantean accent, I'm just like, what? Like, I need like translators. People from Atlanta, people from the Carolinas, and people from New Orleans. Yeah, I don't know what they say half the time. So imagine someone who don't speak English or speak basic English trying to understand something that these folks say. It's kind of like, what? So yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for this webinar, guys. I'm really, really excited for this webinar. I'm super excited. All right, guys. I don't want to make this a long, drawn out live. We have spoke a lot about a lot of different things. And I appreciate you guys, all of you guys who are subscribed to the channel, literally have your post notifications on, because I didn't even plan this live. I said, okay, I was going to do my break room conversations. I'm like, oh crap, it was already late. But because you guys have your post notifications on, you see when I go live. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone who's going to watch this on the rerun. And look out for the flyer for the webinar that will be going up today. And the link for the tickets will be going up today as well. So stay tuned for that. And also, the webinar is going to have limited space. Okay. We're going to have limited space on the webinar because it is a webinar. We can't have 200 people in the webinar. So there's going to be limited tickets. So I also need for you guys to, keep that in mind as well. Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in to my video. Stay tuned for my vlog that'll be dropping today and the rest of my vlogs that's dropping this week. I appreciate you guys. Have someone talk about real estate, different areas in Panama we can move. I already got you. That was already on the list. That's the first thing that we're going to talk about on the webinar because everybody wants to know that, right? So yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to put out the first flyer for the webinar. The second flyer is going to have the guests that we're going to have speaking so you guys can get familiar with them. All right. So thank you guys for always tuning into my videos. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you as usual. Peace and love, guys.